Hello, my name is Jay Lancaster, and I work for the Missouri Department of Transportation in the Southeast District. Today I'd like to talk to you about transportation enhancement funding, which is federal funding that is administered by the Missouri Department of Transportation to cities and counties for the use in local projects. Currently, MoDOT is receiving applications for transportation enhancement funds from the cities and counties of the District 10 area. For this funding round, we'll be awarding a total of $2.3 million in selected projects. Now let's talk about project eligibility for a moment. Enhancement funding cannot be used for traditional road and bridge projects. States are required by law to set aside enhancement funding to be used on non-road bridge projects. For this round of funding we're discussing today, eligible projects must involve the construction of bicycle and or pedestrian facilities. Now this would include sidewalks, trails, bike lanes, pedestrian bridges, ADA accessibility improvements to existing sidewalks, just to name a few, but that list is not exhaustive. Now, routine maintenance and trails around lakes or parks, they're not eligible. This funding is for transportation, not recreation. So make sure as you're planning your project that it is taking people from an area to an area, or from a location to a location, not around a park or a lake for exercise. Now regarding project funding, please know this is a reimbursement program, not a grant. Sponsors will be expected to cash flow these projects and get to request reimbursement monthly. The funds are based on an 80-20 split, with 80% being reimbursed back to the sponsor as federal funds. The sponsor will be responsible for the 20% local match. There are also some funding limits on these applications. The minimum project size that can be requested is $100,000 in federal funds. There's also a maximum project size of $400,000 in federal funds. So make sure your project falls in that $100,000 to $400,000 limit. Projects requesting less than $100,000 or more than $400,000 in federal funds will not be considered. Now the application for funds can be found at our district website at www.modot.org/southeast. The application is short and requests basic information, project description, and project budget. Now this is important. Applications are due in our office no later than 4 o'clock Central Time on Friday, October 29th, 2010. All applications need to be addressed to the attention of Joe Secoy and delivered to our office in Sikeston, which is located at 2675 North Main, located north of the Industrial Park in Sikeston. You can also mail your application to MoDOT P.O. Box 160 in Sikeston, Missouri 63801 to the attention of Joe Secoy. Now here's some things to consider as you're putting your application together, some tips. One, these are federal dollars, so federal and state laws and policies will apply. This means things such as environmental compliance and permits, design guidelines, or right-of-way acquisition practices. Each project must be designed and inspected by a Missouri professional engineer. Now this could be a staff engineer, or it could be a contracted consultant. So make sure and properly plan for these costs. Federal and state prevailing wages apply to these projects, so make sure they're included in your project budget. All projects must be built ADA compliant or ADA accessible. And finally, take time to have someone review your application. Be creative. Include photos of the project area. And more than anything, plan your budget carefully. Too many sponsors in the past have underestimated their budgets, and it's caused headaches down the road. Account for things such as engineering, utility relocation, or right-of-way acquisition carefully. Now, all that being said, we welcome your application and wish you luck getting your project approved. Should you have any questions, please send me an email to j.lancaster@modot.mo.gov. Now that's jay.lancaster@modot.mo.gov. Now it is our hope that we see some great projects get built with these funds that enhance the transportation networks of the cities and counties of our district.